Hi guys, good evening, happy new year, and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and sadly final episode of one of the best shows Netflix has ever made, Stranger Things. The series finale dropped earlier tonight on Netflix and in selected theaters across the country. I opted to watch it at home so I could be here sooner to do my review for it, to deliver to you guys that much quicker. I just finished watching it. Wow, what a finale. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen the series finale yet, or if you haven't seen anything from season 5, you may not want to keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Spoiler warning is issued. Let's start now. So, first and foremost, overall, I was quite happy and satisfied with how it ended. I loved that none of our characters died. Okay, let me rephrase that. I love that none of our main characters died. Yeah, Vecna was probably going to bite it, and if anyone was going to bite it, I hate to say it, all due respect to the character and the actress, but of all the characters to die, Kali made a lot of sense to me. However, what I wasn't expecting until they revealed it, and then it made a lot of sense. I was like, oh, so that's what happened. She uses her final breaths, her final moments to create one last mirage just for the benefit of the military, for Dr. K to believe that 11 sacrificed herself when the Upside Down was destroyed. Unfortunately, of course, it devastated her friends and Mike and Hopper, but it seems like she did make it out of there alive and did escape in one piece. Kali sadly did not. So R.I.P. Vecna, R.I.P. Kali. Actually, fuck Vecna, fuck that guy. It was so immensely satisfying to watch him get impaled on that giant tooth thing in that cave structure, and then Joyce finishing him off, cutting his head off after beating him in the neck repeatedly, was also immensely satisfying to watch. I loved how it cut to almost all the characters who were there present to witness her doing it, because each one of them has lost or had lost themselves or someone important to them at one point or another throughout the course of the series to Vecna. Vecna had caused and brought so much pain to all of these characters on different levels, to Joyce, to her kids, to all of our characters almost. So the fact that the camera cuts to every one of them watching in quiet satisfaction as Joyce repeatedly beats his neck to cut off his head was super satisfying to watch. And watching him get impaled on that giant tooth thing that in his final fight with 11 was also quite satisfying to see. So good riddance to Vecna. And goodbye to the Upside Down. You know, it wasn't really necessarily an evil place. It was just kind of like a world between worlds. But I get why they would want to finally destroy it once and for all, and so that everyone can move on with their lives. And that's what I loved about this ending. I like that we got a time jump into the not too distant future in the summer of '89. And life has seemingly moved on for Hawkins. The military is gone, because once they thought 11 was dead, they had no interest in being there. So and once the Upside Down was gone, no need for them to have a quarantine. So the military's gone. The town is starting to heal, move on. Hopper's chief of police again. Everyone has seemingly moved on except Mike, understandably, because he was devastated. He lost the love of his life, or so he thought. But it was nice seeing where everybody ended up. I understand they only have so much time. You can only highlight or spotlight certain characters, but it was nice seeing Mr. Clark and Murray at the kids' high school graduation ceremony, and I like to think both of them got their respective happy endings as well. Joyce and Hopper getting engaged, moving to a new city to start fresh. That's awesome. Lucas and Max, probably, if I had to choose a favorite couple on this show, I'm so happy that they got back together and they're still very much together and in love. I love that the older kids, Steve, Robin, Jonathan, and Nancy, are all flourishing in their respective jobs and schooling and whatnot. And I also loved the epic reveal that castle looking thing was actually the Mind Flayer asleep or upside down, and that was the Mind Flayer in its true, pure, nasty ass form. I was hoping we would see an epic battle between all of our characters fighting like an army of Demogorgons and Demodogs while El deals with Vecna. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but I will take the giant, horrific, awesome Mind Flayer and all of our characters fighting it in its place happily. So that was quite satisfying to see. I was also surprised. This finale surprised me a bit because I could have sworn Vecna's end would come in the form of El, Kali, and Will, all three of them doing this to him and just ripping him to pieces. It kind of went that route with Will, taking possession of Vecna and then giving Eleven an advantage or an edge over him to then push him or impale him onto that tooth thing. So that did kind of come to fruition, but Kali was, tending to her wounds at the moment. But I gotta say, the other things that surprised me about this finale, well, the things, when I say surprised, there were things I wish they had done. I really wish somehow, even though it was unlikely, I wish they could have cleared Eddie's name. Like, let the town know, hey, he didn't die a suspected murderer. He died a hero. But of course, I don't know how they would have done that. I don't know how that would have looked. I'm just saying it would have been nice if they could have cleared Eddie's name. Secondly, I was really hoping to watch Dr. K get what was coming to her in the form of the Demogorgon killing her, or a pack of Demodogs, or 11 ripping her apart. But she just kind of disappears after 11 disappears. So that was a little disappointing. I really wanted to, all due respect to the great Linda Hamilton, who nailed it in this role, I really would have liked to have seen something really bad happen to Dr. K, because she became really unlikable these past couple episodes, and I was hoping to see her get her comeuppance. But of all the villains to get their comeuppance, I'm glad they made Vecna the priority in that department. So if Dr. K just disappears, then fine, whatever. I am also delighted that they did not include one of my least favorite things about this series, something that I could barely stomach in one of my favorite seasons, season 4, and I certainly did not like it in my least favorite season, season 3. I'm glad Dustin is not ending up with Susie. I did not like Susie. Thought she was an uptight religious nut, and she wasn't really a true girlfriend, but a long-distance thing, so that probably wasn't going to last anyway. I love that Dustin's story I love that his final conclusive story does not include Susie. So thank you for not including Susie, because, God, she was irritating. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. If it's just me, I'll shut up. But yeah, overall, I was quite happy with how it ended. And I kept thinking to myself, God, are they going to reveal that 11 is still alive? Because I'm like, boy, they kind of killed her off kind of early in this episode. But as the episode goes along, I'm like, oh, there's still a lot of time left. That's promising. And of course, the final scene would end in the basement where it all began with their Dungeons and Dragons game. And that's, of course, where Mike reveals to the others that 11 is still out there, and she's probably gotten her happy ending. And will they ever see her again someday? Maybe, but if they don't, at least she's alive and well, and she's found a place with the waterfalls. This episode choked me up quite a bit, too. I felt myself tearing up at numerous times. Mike and 11's emotional goodbye to each other. I found myself choking up during, Dustin's speech. And I loved the fact that his mom was so supportive of his rebellious nature and spirit during his screw you to the principal speech. Her support was awesome, and I loved how proud she was of him. Glad to see the Wheelers are all still alive. And I also love that Holly and her friends have become the next generation of D&Ders in the Wheeler basement. Now that the kids have kind of grown up and they're still playing together, but now it's up to Holly and her friends to continue on the game, to continue the tradition. So I really love that. And I also love that they imply a love interest for Will. You know, he has been through so much shit throughout the course of this series. If anyone deserved a happy ending, it was him. Granted, they all deserved it, but I love the fact that they implied that he meets someone and he moves to the new city where he's going to for school or a job or whatever. So I really like that. Overall, I was very, very, very satisfied with the way this show ended and how they wrapped up everybody's respective storylines. I just wish we could have seen things a little differently, like Dr. K getting her comeuppance, and perhaps all of the characters, if not just Mike, knowing Eleven is still alive, and a final battle between all of our characters and and an army of Demogorgons and Demodogs. However, I'm still super satisfied and was super happy with the assault on the giant mind flayer thing while Eleven dealt with Vecna. So well done, Duffer Brothers, and well done to the entire cast and crew for not just this season, but for the series overall. You delivered some amazing, spectacular, wonderful, entertaining television, and you should all be very, very proud of yourselves, of the legacy you have all left. And now we can rewatch it all over again because it'll be on Netflix forever. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and a safe and happy new year. A better 2026 to you all, and I will see you guys back again next year around this time tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the series finale as much as I did, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.